I think we are live. Yeah.
Okay, welcome back to the SA20 auction. We have action beginning right away. We're not going to waste any time. Theonis De Bruyne from Pretoria Capitals is under the hammer, and Rishi Raj has them at 1 lakh. Just to remind all of our viewers, each of our players will get half a lakh halfway through exactly. We have bid on 48 players so far, including De Bruyne, who's on 3 lakhs right now in favor of Rishi Raj. Uh, at the end of the auction, any unsold players will get a chance to get represented. So we're not going to waste any more time. As you can see, we're already knee deep into bidding for De Bruyne. 5 lakhs in favor of Dvijesh is where we're at right now. And Vikrant jumps in at 6 lakhs. Do we have a 7? 8 lakhs for Vikrant. 9 for Dvijesh. About 10 seconds left. All right, Brajesh bags your Bruin, and we move on to Sarah Irvi of Sunrisers Eastern Cape. She got straight away. About 10 seconds left. Do we have any other takers? For Sarah Irvi. With Sunrisers Eastern Cape. Nope, 1 lakh, and off he goes to Rishi Raj, and we move on to a set of bowlers, starting with Buren Hendricks of MI Cape Town. Raj, and we move on to a set of bowlers, starting with Buren Hendricks of MI Cape Town. Raj, and we move on to a set of bowlers, starting with Buren Hendricks of MI Cape Town. Raj, and we move on to a set of bowlers, starting with Buren Hendricks of MI Cape Town. All right. 3 lakhs with Vikrant. 4 lakhs from Al. And Albags Buren Hendricks for 4 lakhs. We move on to player number 51, Kyle Abbott of the Durban Supergiants. No takers for Kyle Abbott. He'll be our first official unsold player this evening. Yes, he is. Ollie Stone of MI Cape Town up next. Vikrant starts off. Stones. Sriram comes in with 2 lakhs. About 5 seconds left. Any more takers for Ollie Stone? 3 lakhs perhaps from Vikrant. No, Sriram gets Ollie Stone for 2 lakhs. Two-way battle between Vikrant and Viresh. As we now have Mulder at 9 lakhs, 10 lakhs. Okay, steady bidding from both ends. $12 lakhs for Viresh. Gopalakrishnan comes in at 13. Surprise entrant to the bidding war between Rajesh and Vikrant. Vian Mulder, Alan Johns, 14 lakh. So Vian Mulder, Gopalakrishnan. Alan Johns again for 16. We've moved on from Vikrant and Rajesh to Gopal against Alan Johns. 16 lakhs with just about 5 seconds left in case Gopal wants to come back and take him up to 17. All right, the auction has been held by Gopal as he decides whether to outbid Alan Johns and take him to 17 lakhs. The highest bid so far since the break, the all-rounder from Durban Supergiants. The 10 seconds until the auction resumes, and we will resume bidding for the 24-year-old all-rounder representing Durban Supergiants. 4 seconds left. 15 seconds left, my bad. Do we see a 17 from Gopal Krishnan at the end of this? Just about 5 seconds left. If you don't have a 17, then Wian Mulder goes to Alan Johns for 16 lakhs. We move on to Kimo Paul, another Durban Super Giants player. Another bowling all-rounder. Any takers for Kimo Paul? Alan Johns with 1 lakh. Prasanna with 2 lakhs. Prasanna has 6 lakhs left. About 2 players to add to his kitty. Alan Johns take it up to 3. Prasanna, are you going to exhaust 2/3 of your budget on a Kimo Ball now? 10 seconds in case you decide to. In case you don't, Al and Johns secure the services of Kimo Paul as their 7th player. Still have 107 lakhs, so whooping 107 lakhs left. Will come into play now. Romario Shepherd of the Joburg Super Kings is up next. Expect some fierce competitive bidding for him. But it's only at 2 lakhs right now. 3, 4, all right. We have Rishi and Navyash and Vikrant all in the fray. 9 lakhs. Lakhs. Well, the auction gets held by Shriram. For 20 seconds until we resume bidding for Romario Shepherd, another all-rounder from the West Indies. Rajesh pops in with 10 lakh as soon as the hold ends. Do we see an 11 lakh? Quite a few of you have plenty of money left in your reserves. Still a few really, really good players to come, including Romario Shepherd. 10 lakhs for him. He goes after the Rajesh's team, and we're moving on to Phil Salt of the Pretoria Capitals. Any takers for Phil Salt? He has 1 lakh from Vikrant straight away. In the hunt for his 9th player. Do we have a 2 lakh anywhere? Yes, we'll only find out at the end of the hold that Al has put in place. The Pretoria Capitals player, a young wicketkeeper batter from England. Did a lot of T20 cricket all around the world. Sure to be an asset for the Pretoria Capitals in case someone chooses to bid for him at the other end of the hold. About 5 seconds left until we begin. And we're back in business. Sriram and Vijesh chime in straight away. Sriram as well, Vijesh as well. They've all been waiting. Sriram up to 10 lakh, 11 lakhs, making up for all the 40 seconds that we lost. 13. 13 lakhs, where it's at. Sriram at 16 now. Vijesh at 17. 18 in favor of Vikrant now. And 19 from Alan Johns. About 20 seconds left now as Rishi Raj comes in with 20. Alan Johns hop back in at 21. 22 as Gopal Krishnan comes in as well, and Alan Johns still running strong in the pursuit of Phil Salt. 26 for us. And 27 for Rishi Raj. Whew. Alan Johns hop back with 28. Are we going to see Phil Salt hit 30 lakh league as well now? Huh? 30 lakhs from Sriram Ramesh. Rishi Raj takes down to 31. Do we have a 32 from Sriram? Do we see a 32 from Alan Johns perhaps? Because if not, then in next, I was going to say 4 seconds he would go to Rishi, but the auction's been held again by Sriram. A lot of holding in the second half. Fifty more seconds until we resume. Still have about 40 players to get through before any unsold players get represented. But as we have seen, the trend today has been to secure any player who even sniff an opportunity in. 12 seconds. Okay. 31. Are we going to see it get contested by Sriram? Nope. Rishiraj gets Phil Salt at 31. And we move on to Jordan Cox of the Sunrisers Eastern Cape. Jordan Cox. Do we have any takers for Jordan Cox? After the next, the 22-year-old young Englishman has experienced some of the limited overs action in the 100 in the BBL, has done decently. 7 lakhs for him. Do we see an 8? Alan Johns hop in at 8. Nine from Navyash. $14 from Navyash. 15 from Navyash, my bad. 15 from Navish, and that's where Jordan Cox ends up. And we move on to Marco Morais from the Pretoria Capitals, and Vikrant starts bidding for him straight away at 1, Navish back at 2, Navish at 6 now for him. Seven from Alan Johns. Ten from Navish. Do we have any interest for Marco Morais at 11 lakhs from Alan Johns now? Just about a few seconds left. Oop, the local South African batter goes to Naviash, and we now move on to Matthew Britsky of the Durban Supergiants. Anyone to get a start for Matthew Britsky? 1 lakh from Vikrant. Staple 1 lakh bidder. Vikrant has been this session since the break ended. Rajesh up at 3, Sriram 2. Okay, Vikrant back at 4. Young 24-year-old batter from South Africa itself. Do we have 5 lakhs for Matthew Britsky? Yes, Vijesh comes in at 5 lakhs. And hunt for a 7th player this evening. About 10 seconds left in case we have a 6 for Matthew. It was for 5 to Dujesh, and we move on to Will Jacks of the Pretoria Capitals. And as you can see, immediate enthusiasm from multiple bidders. Navish has him at 10, double Sriram's bid, straight to 10. Rishi Raut comes in as well. 20 from Navish. 21 from Alan Johns, 25 from Navish. Not a bother for Alan Johns because they have 107 lakhs left. Navish takes him up to 30 now. That's, again, after Joss Butler, probably the quickest that a player has reached 30 lakhs. 31 from Alan Johns, 32 from Navish. 33, 34. Okay, the ping pong continues. For 10 seconds for Al to decide whether he wants to take Navish on for Will Jacks and head on over to 35. I guess not. Navish gets Will Jacks. It's his 6th player of the evening. And we move on to Mason Crane as he commences a set of bowlers that we now have in our ranks. Okay. 2 lakhs from Vikrant. Sriram beat him to the 1 lakh this time around. Alan Johns at 3. Vikrant at 4 now. Mason Crane from the Sunrisers. Yet another player from England, this time right arm leggy. 8 lakhs. Give it a Vikrant, about 10 seconds for Alan Johns to decide. No, they won't need all 10. 9 lakhs for Alan Johns now. Vikrant back with 10 lakhs. Do we see an 11 for Mason Crane? Or do we have a 12 from Vikrant? In a fierce bidding war between Al and Johns with Vikrant for Mason Crane, about 5 seconds left for Vikrant to decide whether he wants to go 12. He decides against it, and Al and John secure Mason Crane. As we move on to Orion Smith, the all rounder representing MI Cape Town, 1 lakh from Sriram straight away. Do we have anyone taking him up to 10? Like taking him up to 2. Prasanna with 2 lakhs. Sniffs an opportunity to get someone for less than 6 lakhs and jump straight in. 3 lakhs from Sriram. 4 from Prasanna. 6 from Sriram. Okay, Prasanna's out of the race then. About 10 seconds left for anyone to outbid Sriram for Orion Smith. No one does, and Sriram gets Orion Smith for 6 lakhs, one of the least expensive all rounders in the market so far. And we move on to Junior Dala of the Durban Supergiants. 33-year-olds demanding a lot from him. In case anyone wants to outbid Prasanna. Nope, Prasanna gets his 11th player, a 1 lakh pick in the form of Junior Dala, and we move on to Fortune of Pal Royals. 28-year-old local lad, in fact, was born and raised in Pal. Will be representing Pal Royals this season in the SA20, but already up to 11 lakhs for him. Left arm orthodox bowler. Hasn't played too much international cricket, but has excelled a decent amount in the domestic leagues. We have him hitting the 20 lakh leagues now. Vikrant and Vijesh back at it every now and then. Vikrant and Vijesh battle it out with each other. It's always a steady game of ping pong. 21. Do we have 21 from Vijesh? About 5 seconds left for him to decide. Oh, Alan Johns come in at 21 and Vikrant straight back with 22. Giving no room for Alan Johns to breathe. They're back with 23 as well, 24. We're about to hit 25 with Ron Fortune and 26 from Vikrant. About 5 seconds left for Al and Johns to decide whether to outbid Vikrant. No, they don't. And Fortune falls into Vikrant's laps. We move on to George Lind of My Cape Town. 1 lakh from Sriram straight away, 2 from Vijesh. Missed out on getting Fortune, but is going to go after George Lind and secure him for a lower price. 6 from Sriram straight away, 7 from Vijesh. 10 from Sriram, 11 from Vijesh. Vikrant comes in as well with 16 lakhs, hoping to square his team up. Do we have anyone outbidding Vikrant at 16 for George Lind? The auction has been held by Sriram. Johns, do you have any thoughts so far on how the auction, the second session has been? It's been quite swift, huh?
Yes, most of the big boys has been sold in the first section. I'm looking forward to the some of the domestic players. It will be interesting in next couple of few very good names are coming, especially who has performed really well in CSA T20 challenge. So I'm really looking forward to see how that goes.
Absolutely, some really exciting young talents in the pipeline as we move on from George Lind, but not yet. We still have some bidding left in order. About 15 seconds for Sriram or Vijesh to decide whether they want to outbid Vikrant on George Lind. And they do not, as Vikrant bags. Oh no, they do with Vishesh with 17 lakhs at the very last second. That was cunning. An all rounder, bowls some spin, can bat a little bit as well. And Vikrant back at 18. Vikrant looking to square his team up with his 10th player. Sweet left hand. Next few names, exciting bunch of domestic talents. Corbin, who are on the all rounder. Handy with the ball, also floats in the middle order with the bat, and he's at 8 lakhs at the blink of an eyelid. Several bidders interested in securing Corbin Bosch of Powers Royals. Rajesh takes him up to 10. Bosch at 10 lakhs. Another domestic talent, a rising talent, form of Marco Hansen of Sunrisers Eastern Cape, also represents Sunrisers franchise in Hyderabad. Alan Johns start us off at 1 lakh. Vikrant takes us up to 4 as he looks to buy his last player. Is unfortunately unable to, as Rishi and Brajesh and Sriram all hop in to take Hansen up to 10, 11, 12 lakhs now. Do I see a 13? Let the game of ping pong continue as Rishi hops back in and continues to battle it out with Brajesh. 20 from Brajesh. And right back from Rishi Raj. 26 is where we're at. Most of the players are beginning to round up their squads now, but the enthusiasm for big name players, big ticket players hasn't died yet. Marco Hansen has hit the 30 lakh league, the second or third player in the second session to reach this landmark, 31 lakhs. And Rishi Raj back the services of Marco Hansen as we move on to Tristan Stubbs of the Sunrisers Eastern Cape. They spent a bomb for Tristan Stubbs at the auction against MI Cape Town, who almost exhausted their bank to get Stubbs. But 10 lakhs from now, we are straight away. 11 from Dujesh. Gopal Krishnan comes in at 12, and we also have Dujesh still in the battle. Yeah, 25 lakhs now. Looking at another player reaching the 30 lakh leagues, thanks to Rishi's 4 lakh raise, 30 lakhs from Dujesh. About 10 seconds left in case anyone wishes to outbid. Yeah, Alan Johns come in, 32 from the J straight away, is hellbent on getting Tristan Stubbs. 34 from the J, almost ready to exhaust his budget. $35 from Alan Johns. Where's Vijesh going to go 36? He has 15 seconds to decide. That's quite a lot of time. About 5 seconds to go. intensify this duel. About 30 seconds before you resume bidding for Tristan Stubbs. Hard hitting lower order wicketkeeper bat. See a lot of these players attracting big money for their varied skill set. Tristan Stubbs is no different. Let's see if at the end of this hold we have anyone springing up any surprises. For now, the bid lies with Alan Johns, but Gopal raises it right at the end of the hold. 36 lakhs is where we're at. Will Brijesh or Alan Johns take it forward? Yes, they do. Alan Johns, 37 lakhs. Playing with the conviction to back Tristan Stubbs. Balakrishnan takes up to 38. 39 from Alan Johns. With 96 lakhs left in their purse. In poker terminology, I think this is what you call a big chip bully. 39 lakhs from Alan Johns for Tristan Stubbs. Only about a second left, and yes, Tristan Stubbs goes to Al and Johns. And we move on to Ramon Simmons, young pacer from the West Indies, left arm fast bowler, 21-year-old. Any interest for Ramon Simmons with 3 seconds left? Guess not. And we move on to the next bowler, the next player, a batter representing MI Cape Town, Delano Pajita. Runs with a token 1 lakh bid. Nabia battling it out with him for it. Bowling a batting all rounder, from what I hear. 4 lakhs for him, about 5 seconds left. All right, Marcus Ackerman is next. Sunrisers, Eastern Cape. Batter representing the Sunrisers. About 5 seconds left. Do we have any interest? If not, he'll reappear at the end of the auction, but passes for now. And we move on to Lou Duploy of the Joburg Super Kings. And Sriram starts us off straight away. The South African left-hand batter, 27 years old. Been a rather well-known and celebrated name in the domestic circuit of late. Some steady bidding from Dwijesh and Sriram. And 9 lakhs from Sriram now. Ten lakhs from Dwijesh. 11 from Al and Johns. 12 from Sriram. Slow but steady. How we would define this bid for the Joburg Super Kings batter. 14 lakhs from Sriram. And about a couple of seconds left. Al and Johns bag him, and we move on to Ziad Abrahams of my Cape Town. Any interest for Ziad Abrahams? If not, then in a couple of seconds he'll pass. And we move on to Gerald Kotze from Joburg Super Kings. Expecting some bidding straight away for Gerald Kotze. Very celebrated young talent. Vikrant up to 4 immediately from 1. Prasanna up to 5. Unfortunately, passes from Prasanna has reached 6 lakhs. Favor of Navyash. Seven for Sriram. About 10 seconds left. 8 for Navyash. Oof. 10 from Navyash now as Sriram lashes in at 9. Eleven, 12. Going slowly now. 16 from Navyash. And 18 now as Navyash and Sriram lock heads in the pursuit of Gerald Kotze. Just about 3 seconds left, and Navyash gets Gerald Kotze, and we move on to Durban Super Giants pacer Simon Harmer. Spinner. I apologize. 1 lakh from Sriram straight away for Simon Harmer. An experienced Praetorian off spinner. Simon Harmer playing for Durban Super Giants this season. 2 from Gopal Krishnan. Bidders are slowing down. Can we please have some excitement? Some 3 lakhs for Simon Harmer. We'll have to wait for that. Do we see Simon Harmer now? Huh? Yes, we do. 5. Can I get a 5? Yes, I get a 5 from Sriram. 6 from Gopal. Moving slowly, but we do see each and every one of our team owners craftily putting together a balanced squad. Where they added Gopal Krishnan gets Simon Harmer, and we move on to Pranalan Subrayan of Durban Super Giants again. No rounder. Any interest? Yes, Navya straight away. The bowling all rounder from Durban, a local boy. Right hand bat. Also bowls off spin. Up to 7 lakhs now for Pranalan Subrayan. And we move on to Frisco Adams of the Pal Royals. Right pacer, also bat a little bit. The 33-year-old experienced domestic campaigner. Moving on to Obed McCoy now, as Frisco goes unsold. Obed McCoy of the Pal Royals also plays for the Rajasthan franchise in the IPL. Had a decent year, 2022 with the ball. No interest for Obed McCoy, it seems. Oh, finally from Navyash. Thank you. A wily left arm pacer from the West Indies, rather experienced, may just be getting sold for 1 lakh unless someone else pops in. Malusi Sibolto of the Joburg Super Kings. We're entering the tail end of this auction. Less than 20 players left now before we represent the unsold players. Lazard Williams is up next, another Joburg Super Kings player. Right arm pacer. Pretty experienced in the domestic circuit. Do we have any interest for Lazard Williams? Doesn't seem like it. And the next one out of the hat is Wihan Lubin. Rishi Raj straight away with 1 lakh. After a few unsold players, we're going to see some pain after some crowd. 1 lakh, about 5 seconds left in case anyone wants to take Wihan Lube up to 2. Nope. Rishi secures him for 1 lakh and we move on to number 82. Shaw Warburg. Pretoria Capitals, Sriram straight away, thank you. An all-rounder. Experienced 36-year-old campaigner. This right arm leggy, handy lower order batter as well. About 3 seconds left in case anyone changes their mind. Auctions held by Prasanna for 45 more seconds. And while we wait for the auction to resume, oh, the bid has been unheld and Prasanna takes him up to 2 lakhs. Pretoria Capital, right arm leg break bowler, 36 years of age. Does Sriram want to take him up to 3 lakhs? And Sriram now holds the auction. All right. Wait for about 15 seconds to see how far we reach. Whew. And Sriram has unheld the bid and about 10 seconds in case he wants to outbid Prasanna on this one. If he chooses not to, then Prasanna might be the first among us to finish his squad. And yes, he does. Prasanna has completed his 12-player squad with 3 lakhs left in the purse. And we move on to Ethan Bosch of Pretoria Capitals. Congratulations, Prasanna, on finishing your squad. Vikrant straight away for Ethan. 1 lakh. Reaching the tail end of the auction now, as we can see, everyone has completed at least half their team. 1 lakh. Vikrant gets Ethan Bosch, and we now move on to Wakar Salam Hill, my Cape Town. Vikrant with 11 and Rishi with 11 are also close to completing the squads. And Wakar passes, and we move on to Darren Dupavilla of Pretoria Capitals. Still some talent left to come. About 11 more players left, including Darren Dupavilla, 1 lakh from Sriram. Sriram has 75 lakhs, the highest among anybody involved in the auction. Gopal Krishnan back in with 2 lakhs. Sriram pinches back at 3 lakhs. And Sriram gets down to below and he won an entree burger of Joburg Super Kings. Vikrant with 4 lakhs, exhausting his budget straight away. The last player that Vikrant had in mind was this youngster from Joburg Super Kings. About 5 seconds in case someone wants to. Oh, Gopal bats him out of the race straight away. Unfortunately for Vikrant, he'll have to wait a little longer to round his team up. About 10 seconds in case a third bidder wants to come in, since Vikrant can no longer outbid Gopal. Oof. And the bid goes to Gopal Krishnan, and we move on to Dual Brevis of My Cape Town. Was one of their two local signings at the start, before the auction even started for the SA20. Has also been associated with their Mumbai franchise. 8 lakhs, some aggressive bidding for Dual Brevis, some aggressive bidding in the auction after some time. Gopal Krishnan takes him to 18 lakhs straight away. Vijesh with 19, Rishi with 20, Vijesh with 21, 22. I didn't think that there would be a player going in the 25 lakh league after the kind of drought we had, but it's time for some rainfall. 30 lakhs for Dual Brevis. Baby AB, as he is endearingly called. 30 lakhs. 34 from Sriram. If you spoke about big chip bullies, 34 lakhs safely bats many players out of the bid, but not Alan Johns, who are going to spend 41 out of the 42 lakhs that they have left on Dual Brevis. The answer to Prasanna's question on who Alan John's hidden curve was going to be.
I guessed that before itself. I told him to.
42 from Sriram. Bats Alan Johns out of the race, and there's nobody who can outbid Sriram. So Sriram gets Dual Brevis and 42 lakhs. And we now move on to Dilshan Madhushankar of the Durban Super Giants, the Sri Lankan bowler. Any interest for Dilshan? Left arm pacer. Gopal Krishnan with a lakh. Just 1 lakh. Few seconds still left in case someone wants to decide. All right, we move on as Gopal Krishnan bags Dilshan Madhushankar on to Mihal Pretorius. Mihal Pretorius, Vijesh with 1 lakh straight away. Anyone with 2 lakhs. Just 3 seconds left. Sriram comes in with 2 lakhs, yes. Five lakhs from Vijesh and 4 lakhs from Vikrant. There's some bidding starting, some sort of bidding starting for Mihal Pretorius of the Pretoria Capitals. And with few seconds left, no one outbids Vijesh, and he secures Pretorius for 5 lakhs. We want to Biden Cars of the Sunrisers. Anyone interested in Biden Cars? The right arm fast bowler from Cape Province, plays for England now. Goes unsold, and we want to Duan Hansen of Mumbai Indians Cape Town. The last MI Cape Town player to feature on this was Dual Brevis, who with 42 lakhs became the second most expensive player in the auction after Joss Butler. Who was sold for 57 lakhs. We have 6 lakhs riding on Juan Hansen right now. 6 lakhs in favor of Dvijesh. About 10 seconds left in case anyone wants to outbid Dvijesh on this one. Sriram, yes, comes in with 7 lakhs. We're truly beginning to round up the auction now. Should only be a matter of a few minutes before we move on to the unsold players. 7 lakhs and 3 seconds left, 2 seconds left, 1 second left, and Duan Hansen goes to Sriram. We want a Grant Rolofson of Mumbai Indians Cape Town. Wicketkeeper bat. No interest for young Grant Rolofson. As Navya straight is the bidding at 1 lakh. Do we have anyone interested in taking him up to 2 lakhs now? Yash gets Wesley measly price of 1 lakh, and we move on to Mitch Van Buren of the Power Royals. Batter, young 24-year-old. 1 lakh from Dvijesh. Some niche research into the domestic talent of South Africa shining through now among all of our bidders. Bags Mitch Van Buren, and we move on to Shane Dadswell of Pretoria Capitals. Vijesh with 1 lakh for Shane as well. Whew. Vijesh gets Shane Dadswell as well. We move on to Caleb Salika, player number 96 of the Joburg Super Kings. A quick budget check. Sriram Ramesh has 23 lakhs left. Alan Johns have 42. Both of them have 10 out of 12 players already secured. Vijesh 32 lakhs left with one player. We move on to Imran Manak of Power Royals. Rishi has 29 lakhs left for one player. Navya 16 lakhs for one player. Prasanna has exhausted his budget and completed his team. Vikrant has 4 lakhs left for a player, and Gopal has 37 lakhs left for 4 players. As Imran passes unsold as well. Now move on to Bartman of Sunrisers Eastern Cape. And 4 lakhs and 5 lakhs straight away from Naviash. Still a few talented players left to come after this. And the Sunrisers bowler was about to slide into Navyash's team, but Vijesh hops in at the very last second. Do we see Navyash outbid him? Yes, we do. 7 lakhs now. Eight now in favor of Vijesh. Do we see a 9? Are we hitting the 10 lakh league in the last tail end of the auction? Just a few seconds for Navyash to decide. Yes, he comes in at 9 lakhs. It's a slow game now, but we are inching slowly and steadily to 10 lakhs and 11 now for and 16 from Dvijesh. Batting Navyash out of the race altogether. And unless we have a third bidder challenging Dvijesh, who has been really convinced that he wishes to have Orkney Bartman into his team, in the next couple of seconds. No one does, and Vijesh secures opening department as we move on to the Joburg Super Kings prodigy Donovan Ferreira. Rishi straight away with 1 lakh. Vikrant with 4, trying his luck at getting Donovan Ferreira as his last pick, batted out by Rishi. Gopal comes in at 6, still in the hunt for his 9th player. Rishi back with 7, trying to square off his team. Some fierce bidding between Gopal and Rishi ensues. Navya chimes in as well. And easiest way to bat Navya out is by going straight for 16 lakhs. Second time in a row. $18 from Rishi against Alan Johns. And Alan Johns strike back with 19 lakhs. $21. Wouldn't expect a player at the very end of the auction. 24 from Alan Johns. 29, 30. 30 with Alan Johns with less than 10 seconds left. And Gopal Krishnan back with 31 lakhs. Do Alan Johns take it up to 32? Yes, they do. Brevis may have slipped out of their hands, but they are back strong with Donovan Ferreira. About 10 seconds left in case anyone wishes to okay Gopal Krishnan. And there you have it, 34. They're not stopping, they're not holding back. Trying to round up their team as well. About 10 seconds left in case Gopal Krishnan wants to take it up to 35. But chooses not to, and Aaron Johns get Donovan Ferreira of the Joburg Super Kings. And we move on to Cody Youssef. Just about 9 more players for the auction to conclude. About 10 seconds left. Anyone interested in Cody Youssef of the Pal Royals? Doesn't seem like it. And we safely move on to Akira Dhananjaya of Durban Super Giants, the mystery spinner from Sri Lanka. Do we have any interest for Akira Dhananjaya? Just about 9 players left for the auction to conclude. No interest for Akira Dhananjaya here. And we move on to Joburg Super Kings, Arwan Fangiso. Arwan Fangiso, experienced campaigner from South Africa. No takers for him either. Just about 3 seconds left. Passes. We move on to Hardest Viljoen of the Durban Super Giants. Any interest in Hardest Viljoen? Can I get someone to start us off for Hardest Viljoen? I remember him playing for Punjab many years ago in the IPL. Haven't heard of him in a really long time. But he passes on, and we move to Andy Cricbattle-Covers. Do we have anyone trying to outbid them? About 4 seconds left. Seems like everyone's come with their strategy as they outbid Alan Johns at 9 lakhs. Does Sriram? Unless we have a third bidder now, safe to assume that Sriram is going to take Cricbattle-Covers into his team, and he does. Move on to Sarunan Muthuswamy from Pretoria Capitals. Any interest for Muthuswamy? Another celebrated domestic talent. the Pretoria Capitals. No interest. Oh, 1 lakh from Gopal Krishnan. Still some time for anyone to decide to join the party for Senaran Muthusamy. And Gopal gets hold of Senaran Muthusamy, and we move on to Evan Jones of Paul Royals. Only 7 more players left in the auction pool. 3 lakhs, 4 lakhs, all right. 5 lakhs. Evan Jones is hot property. 9 lakhs. Everyone wants Evan Jones to be their last player. 12 lakhs is where we're at. 20 from Rishi Raj, who has enough money left to take a punt on Evan Jones for 20 lakhs. The only player who's going to be able to outbid him now is Gopal Krishnan if he chooses to. And he does. And Rishi's back. 22 lakhs. 22 lakhs. 23, 24. Okay. It's going to go on to Rishi's last limbs as the cost for Evan Jones nears the end of his budget. 24 lakhs. Is he going to secure Evan Jones as the last player in his squad? Nope, Gopal Krishnan won't let him. 25 lakhs. Just a few players left until we get back onto the unsold players. 29 lakhs. Rishi exhausts his purse on Evan Jones. About 45 seconds for Gopal to decide whether he wishes to take this bid forward. It's the last 7 players. He's unheld the bid now and has 10 seconds to decide whether to outbid Rishi, who is exhausting his purse on Evan Jones. And, well, he chooses not to, and Rishi Raj has purchased Evan Jones, completed his squad, the second player to finish his squad. And we have Ayablela Mane from Sunrisers Eastern Cape. 5 seconds left. Move on to Junaid Dawood of Sunrisers Eastern Cape. Last couple of players till we get back to the unsold lot. And 6 players in total left until the auction concludes. Now on to Jordan Herman. Vikrant with 4 lakhs straight away. Gopal with 12. Sri Raman with 14, trying to exhaust his budget now. And Gopal's back with 15. Do we have anyone, Vijesh being the only one, and Navyash take it up to 16? No, we don't. And Gopal Krishnan gets Jordan Herman. We move on to Neil Brand, the last of the players before we move on to the unsold lot. Only 5 players left for the auction to conclude for all teams to square their teams up. Any interest for Neil Brand of Joburg Super Kings? If not, we'll wait for Harry Brook, who's the first unsold player. and his name to pass before we get on to the next. I see most team owners are now looking to fill those last couple of gaps with the few lakh rupees that they have left. Kyle Abbott being the first of the official offerings. The Durban Super Giants fast bowler. Doesn't seem to be any interest for Kyle Abbott either. And if there isn't, then we'll swiftly move on to Ramon Simmons. Any interest for Ramon Simmons? The young pacer from West Indies. A lot was spoken about him and his pedigree when he was purchased at the auction a few months ago. About 5 seconds left in case someone wants to also players until we conclude the auction. What gaps remain to be filled by the team owners? Alan Johns have unheld the bid, and we now wait to see if we have any takers for Ramon Simmons. In case we don't, we move on to Mark Ackerman of Sunrisers Eastern Cape. Only a few seconds left. And we move on to Ziad Abrahams of my Cape Town. Any interest in Ziad Abrahams? Can I get anyone to start bidding? Just about 5 seconds. Nope, no interest for Ziad Abrahams, and we move on to Ferisco Adams once again. Any takers for Ferisco Adams? None. We move on to Malusi Siboto of the Joburg Super Kings. Any takers for Siboto, the Joburg Super Kings bowler? Last 5 players. Let's see who our bidders have in mind. Lizard Williams, is it? From Joburg Super Kings. Any interest for Lizard Williams? About 5 seconds in case anyone decides to bid for Lizard Williams. If not, we will move on to Waqar Sanamkil again of my Cape Town. About 5 seconds left in case anyone changes their mind and decides to bid for Waqar Sanamkil. But if not, we move on to Byron Cars of Sunrisers Eastern Cape. Any takers for Byron Cars? Anyone? Sriram and Alan Johns. This is what they were saving their money for. Sriram at 8 lakhs. Bats Alan Johns out of the race. Gopal Krishnan comes in at 9. Sriram at 14 bats himself out, as Gopal Krishnan should safely, unless Brijesh or Navyash try to chime in, secure the services of Byron Cars. Seems like there's 5 seconds left for either Brijesh or Navyash to decide, and they choose not to. And so Gopal almost rounds his team off. We move on to Grant Rolofson of my Cape Town. 4 players, only 4 players till we finish the auction. Navyash with 1 lakh, Alan Johns with 2. Now we are 9 lakhs to straight away outbid Alan Johns. Sriram with 14 and Naviash had 15. So the only player who can now outbid Naviash is Dvijesh. And if he doesn't decide to do so in the next 10 seconds, then Naviash will get hold of Grant Rolofson. About 5 seconds left. And Naviash gets Grant Rolofson. We move on to Kalib Selek of Joburg Super Kings once again. Oof. Just 3 players left. 4, 3, 2, 1. Caleb goes unsold, and we now move on to Imran Manak of Paul Royals. Last 3 players. Let's see who our bidders choose to square their teams up. About 5 seconds left. And Vikrant hops in at 4 lakhs, trying to square his team off. Anyone willing to outbid him here? You'll have about 5 seconds to decide. And there you have. Vikrant gets hold of him, and we now move on to Cody Yusuf again, Power Royals, all rounder. 2 players left to go for the auction to conclude. Al and Gopal Krishnan and Sri Ram left with spots to fill. Akila Dhananjaya is next. About 10 seconds left. And Akila Dhananjaya passes as well. We are back to the experienced South African domestic campaigner Aaron Fangiso, spinner, playing for the Joburg with Aaron Fangiso, Gopal Krishnan with 2 lakhs. Will we see Alan Johns try and exhaust the budget? They do. So only Sriram can outbid them now and square his team off. And unless he chooses to do so, oh, okay, Sriram has held the bid. Just a little bit of time until we are back on. Last few players left. Sriram raises the bid and safely secures Aaron Fangiso, I believe. And as he does so, we are now down to the literally just the last couple of players. Haris Villuin of the Durban Supergiants. Any interest from Al or Gopal as far as they're concerned? About 5 seconds in case they decide to. Otherwise, we will be Eastern Cape. Last couple of players left. Action unfolds as Al and Gopal decide who to bid on last. And we are about to move on to Junaid Daud of the Sunrisers. Is this a player that interests either Alan Johns or Gopal? Gopal Krishnan with 1 lakh. And if he chooses to, if Alan Johns don't choose to outbid Gopal Krishnan on this one, then We will be so close to concluding the auction because there's only one player left. It's all down to Alan Johns now. How does it work here now, Al?
I think if the second unsold round starts, we can close it, and I'll auto assign the player offline
Okay.
because it'll again lead to a set of 15 players being auctioned. It's pointless.
Okay.
Okay, I think it is auto assigned. Okay, no problem. That's it then. Yeah.
That is it then.
I'll end the recording.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Thank you for joining.